Alrighty, looks like we are rolling again. Greetings, dear viewers. This is Tarot Lumination, and this is you, Pisces, and it is your mini generic general broad spirit report for August 2018. We're going to use this beating heart spread. Okay, if you've seen them before, you'll already know. If not, welcome to the show. Actually, before we get into it, like we did with the other playlist for love and relationships, let's go to Pisces here. We're going to just focus on the eclipse. There's all sorts of other things going on during the month. The big news was coming out at the very tippy end of July, this massive, extremely, almost harsh full moon eclipse around July 27th. Very hard angles between Taurus and the Leo Aquarius axis. And you might have felt it in some part of your life. And during August for these reports, I'm just going to focus on one thing, which is the Leo new moon eclipse on August 11th, okay? So for you Pisces, that is over here in your 6th house. Basically things like health, service to people. Like if you can imagine you're a really good dishwasher or something, or a very good caretaker, or very good at accounting, or just doing something very, very well in the service of others, whatever that might be. Sometimes it's the kind of work that's often seen as mundane or not very well appreciated. Also, you can think in terms of tasks, habits, your lifestyle, the cleaning up of life, the routines and repairs and maintenance of life, especially habits. So the question is, especially if you use the word habits, there are good habits and there are bad habits. So with the full moon Leo Aquarius eclipse happening on this axis here for you, you might have discovered some very deeply buried unhealthy habits that had to be exposed and uncovered and needing to be repaired and maintained and cleaned up. So that you can create new habits going forward in a very healthy, loving way, in a very expressive, fun way over here in your 6th house, where all this Leo energy is clustered here, okay? So it's the eclipsing away of whatever is not yours, and the eclipsing into your life of whatever it is, whatever is yours. It's like, dear angels, dear heavens, whatever is, please bring me, whatever is mine, please bring this to me. Whatever is not mine, please take this away. Or if you want to get more absolute, whatever is mine comes to me, whatever is not mine moves away. Something like that, just to clear the air and go with the flow. Do not try to resist this. It could be because of the hard angles, especially with the fixed signs. It could be very surprising, sharp, volatile, explosive, radical, completely surprising, completely unpredictable, something for which you would be unprepared. But it will be happening nonetheless. It is an eclipse, okay? It's the last one of this whole series from 19 years ago. So from 19 years, so it's kind of the end of the show for now. Anyway, let's move on. I don't want to dwell on that too much. Let's go to the cards. You'll see what we're talking about. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising, especially if they're all different, and then reinterpret the whole thing to suit yourself. All right. You can also cross-watch for significant others, but this is not strictly a relationship type reading. You'll see as we get into it. Cards are already well shuffled in advance. No jumpers, no flowers, no oracles, no reversals, and just trying to keep it as stripped down, bare bone as possible, and simple, simple to visualize, simple to feel it as a story. Think of it as a story, okay? It has a beginning and a middle and an end. Think of it as a beating pulse, okay? Think of it as a chapter in your life. And it's an important chapter because of the eclipse. What is being eclipsed out of your life? What is being eclipsed into your life regarding that particular sector of your life? Lifestyle, health, habits, cleaning up, purifying, refining. Okay, cards are well shuffled. Bless these little cards. They've done thousands of reading. Bless this deck, bless the show, bless the channel, bless your dear viewers, bless Tarot Illumination. Please bring your angels in, your invisible friends. That's what we do over here. And I feel that it really helps, makes it a team effort so you don't feel as though it's just you and then the rest of the world out there. All right, cards are cut. Here we go. Over here is the very core heart energy. I mean, we talk about chakras and this stuff like that, but that's all very cool and everything. But if this isn't in order, then none of the rest of it matters. You know, you can read every book you want, go to every yoga meditation class you want, but if you haven't got this sorted out, oops. So from here, there's like this core pulsing energy. The heart needs what it needs, wants what it wants. And it's up to us, the waking conscious persons that we are, to understand that and provide that and feel that, nurture this, take care of that. Come from this energy, because then this creates the beat and the pulse to go on to the next beat and the next pulse. You will see in a moment. What are you bringing in with you? Okay. Remember, the heart, brings, pumps all the nutrients where it needs to go, and removes all the wastes where it needs to go, and so we have a chance to live. So if that's not working properly, again, it's going to be a very short ride for you guys. So over here, what are you bringing in with you? Think of it as legacy energy, history. Is it a bunch of past lives? Is it trauma from the eclipses? Is it amazement from the eclipses? Is it confusion, stress? Is it just curiosity? What is it? Over here, the ever-present now. This is sometimes very hard for a lot of people to carry, because it means having to be totally grounded, conscious, present, and here, where really nothing else matters. Like the past becomes irrelevant, the future becomes irrelevant. All that counts right now, because it is in the now where you exercise your power through the healing power of your decisions. Love thyself. What are you going to do right now to love thyself? Okay. And how are you going to do that? This would be the how over here. How are you going to do that so that it actually works? So you can actually do this and optimize this process of love thyself. Okay. Because what's best for you at this core is best for the rest of the world. Your loved ones, your near and dear, your pets, your kids, your boyfriends, girlfriends, your family, your career, everything stems from here, heart energy. Over here, generating consequences. If this is active and conscious in flow, then we're creating our lives consciously. If we're letting all this just happen on the limbic system and we're not participating in our own evolution, this will feel much more like fate, okay? And that's your choice. You can live that way if you want. Over here, what if you mess up? What if you're really out of alignment and you're not honoring or listening to your heart, feeling your heart, and losing out accordingly? On the other hand, what if you are in alignment and you are feeling that? How does that feel? How does that look? It's the same energy, but one is the inverse of the other. And over here, some prospects and momentum taking us into the very next beat of the heart. So I'm hoping you can see that as a heart shape, okay? I'm really trying to fit it in. I know it's a very small sound stage, but this is all we have. And this comes from this. And this big auric type energy comes from this, which comes from this. I hope you understand the drift here. I was trying to make it visually understandable for you. Over here, circumstantial energy, environmental, what is around you. Just like every creature, living organism has environmental and circumstantial energy. We have to make the best of it. What have you got going on here? Look at this, Ace of Swords. Well, whoopee, bravo for you, Pisces. Like truth and awakenings, great opportunities. This is, I feel, a sacred energy. It wouldn't be here unless you'd earned it or deserved it. And you are in the right place at the right time with the right persons, the right reasons, and the right people for this to happen. And it comes through, I would say, in stark, blinding clarity, almost like lightning, like repeat lightning, like an ongoing storm where the lightning happens and then it subsides and then more and subsides and then more and more and more and more and more. And it becomes totally awe-inspiring. I don't know if you've ever lived through those kind of storms. They can be very, very spectacular, very scary, very beautiful, very frightening, very inspiring, very, very humbling, and very enlivening. And that is all I feel, referring directly to this energy here, and the Aquarius energy over here. I feel We're really talking about new starts and new beginnings, and releasing the old. Okay, so let's have a look. What's going on down here, Pisces? Okay, well, with the Eight of Pentacles here, my feeling is that you've already done a lot of the homework. Maybe you've been prepping for this for lifetimes, or maybe from the last year and a half or so during the Leo Aquarius eclipse cycles, and you're fully prepared. You've been investing, working very hard. Your heart is, let's say, strong in this way and focused in this way, understanding that in some ways this includes having to prepare for a future, investing in a future, uh, building inventory for the future, making yourself strong. I see this as you, Pisces, at the heart level. The heart is talking to you, saying right now, dear Pisces, look after me. I'm looking after you. I'm putting everything I have into you, your life, your world. Please understand that I need the same feedback from you, my dear owner. Thank you very much. And we'll do this as a team, even though I look like I'm on my own. Okay? Because I am yours and you are mine. What are you bringing in with you? Let's have a look. Okay. Well, this is, to me, this with the Three of Wands here, this feels to me as though, again, you've already done the homework. You've already started to see glimpses of what's ahead for you, new starts, new beginnings, new life, new opportunity in this part of your life. Perhaps you're creating new health regimens, very, very newly designed habits that are much more about loving the self, self-love, self-improvement, uh, routine, health, fitness attitudes, healthy attitudes and behaviors to move forward in your life, get you through life in a very, very systematic, well-organized way. You know, instead of like drinking too much too late and then sleeping through your alarm and then realizing you're late for a job or school or something, and then crashing down 4 energy drinks and being hyped up on caffeine and then crashing at lunchtime. That's not a healthy habit. Okay, people do stuff like that, but there are healthier ways to live. So my feeling is that you're coming in already kind of primed, starting to see the consequences of many millions of decisions that you've made through your life to get to this point, about things that do work and things that don't work, because either way your decisions generate consequences. And I feel it's becoming very vivid to you now. You're realizing, wow, look at all the areas in which I screwed up over here. Maybe I was just giving away all my deep soul energy in what I thought was, like divine, purpose, deeply compassionate, well-intended uh, meanings. And it's great, but it ended up being like more like martyrdom and self-destructive. That's not cool. How can you be an effective instrument on this planet if you're being a martyr and self-destructing yourself in the cause of good, in the cause of your humanity? I mean, duh. So anyway, let's move on. I'm not judging you here, Pisces. I'm just giving you my feel about the story, okay? So what about now? Okay. Okay, definitely the flow. I feel we're definitely in the flow here with the eclipse energy. It's almost like, please, let's get on with this stuff. I want to get through this. There are all these heavy, heavy planets in retrograde. My feeling, if you look at all the charts and the data and everything, August has like wall-to-wall retrogrades. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Like at certain points during the month, around the middle of the month, we have 6 planets. I mean, serious retrograde. And to me, it feels like you get the chance to, like, do the action replays and the reviews of your life, and you see it all like splurged out in front of you, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe like how all these years I've been thinking and doing in this over here, realizing the values or the lack of value in how I've been behaving and how self undoing that is, and now seeing a chance to make things better. And my goal is to, let's just get on with it. It's almost like I can look at the ticking clock here. If you look at it like this, ding, 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 ding. This is, to me, this feels like you, Pisces, like itching to get through the eclipse, getting into it and coming out the other side, leaving all the drama and everything and the misconceptions of anything and everything and self-undoing, very, very deeply buried, very hard to understand behaviors and thoughts and attitudes and so-called wisdom and knowledge and awareness that turned out to be in some ways contaminated or uh, outmoded. And now it's time to move on to the new smart stuff, the good stuff. Maybe there's a lot of stuff and attitudes that you don't need anymore. They can literally be left behind. And all you need to do is grab with you that which does work for you. Okay? A lot of people are downsizing in life these days. They're realizing, like, you know, maybe I don't need a car. Maybe I don't really need that huge house. Maybe I could like completely restructure my lifestyle and ideas so I can live through heart more and more effectively and have more peace. You know, maybe I'm going to move away from turning myself into a debt slave. Maybe I'm going to do something much simpler and much, much more healthy. Thank you very much. Load up the backpack and go. And take your loved ones with you. Peace, baby. Okay, let's have a look here. In this sense of momentum, I think this is you realizing, wow, I really need to tune into the energy of this eclipse and go for the good stuff and just say farewell to all the bad. Allow that you might have some irreparable damage or some residual habits that may not even be healed in this lifetime, but you're going to go for it anyway, the best you can with what you've got, having worked so hard already. Okay? And really, really, really tapping into this opportunity of new starts and new beginnings, new higher knowledge, new higher consciousness, new wisdom going forward. Let's have a look at the decision making accordingly. So the thing is, with the moon card here, my feeling is that luckily I feel this is okay with you in many ways, because it means like having to tune in very deeply to your intuition, like go within, go within, go within, go within. For this to work, so that you come in and then you come out, everything, whatever is yours comes to you. Whatever is not yours is eclipsed away. Okay? And then doing that effectively, knowing that to understand what that is and face what that is, it almost means having to go deep into the deepest parts of your own meditative self, perhaps facing your own fears to understand, like in intuitive language, what is it, what was it that were the causes of all my self-undoing here, things that might frighten you, or even things that might frighten you about having to initiate a new lifestyle and new habits, and just understand what they are and realize that those are just fears, and then move forward anyway. It takes great, great courage to tap into your deepest intuition. Instead of having to like watch endless YouTube videos about how to do all this stuff, you actually tune into yourself. Okay, I'm just trying to help you. I'm not trying to knock my own channel here, but I'm suggesting that trust in your deepest, deepest intuition, face the fear and move forward anyway, knowing that, you know, at some point everyone else has to deal with it this way anyway. All I'm suggesting here is going really, really deep. And I think it might help to understand, even though I'm sort of like scaring everybody with all this eclipse, you know, Aquarius, Leo, Taurus stuff. The Taurus stuff over here, there are some beautiful trined aspects between, like, you know, I think it's Neptune and Pluto, like the water signs, and also some of the earth signs as well. So this can work for you. In other words, making your decisions, knowing you have to face your fears, face the shadows, and then go forward anyway. How do you do that effectively? Well, mastery. It's basically mastery, getting a grip, understanding that you might be heavily, heavily influenced by your own emotional currents, not realizing that you have to take ownership of that stuff and understand what they are so you can focus that energy. There's tremendous amount of energy in your limbic system, your heart, your pulsing heart energy. Are you being driven by fear? Are you being driven by love? It's very important to learn what that means and understand that, identify it, and then always tune into the love. Okay? It's just remember, energy flows where attention goes. Just one slight slip and you lose the grip. Okay? Over here, generating consequences accordingly. Okay, with the Nine of Swords here, my feeling is that in this eclipse pattern, this eclipse season here, the culmination of what happened at the end of July, like the shock and all, like look at the Weather Channel, for example, look at the political climate. It's like a war zone out there with you know, the fires and the burning, the floods and the hurricanes and everything. So it can be very, very scary. But I think the point is to understand that and feel it, feel the fear, understand exactly what is it, what is that that's driving me in your decisions. You're creating consequences where it's like, by understanding what this means here, you get to expose the fears, one by one at a time, so that you're not owned by this stuff. You need to know what this is. You need to face your fears, face your anxieties, face all the stresses one by one, realizing like, oh my gosh, that's why I was so freaked out. That's who was freaking me out. This is what freaks me out. This is that. Whatever it is, put a list down of the top 9 items that totally scare the poop out of you and name it. Put words to it. When you name it, it gets it out of you, better out of you than within you, living subconsciously. Get it out there and then do something about it, okay? So that you're not a victim of this. So this does not own you. It's very, very important to know what does not work in your life, okay? So, okay, over here. Okay, let's just say you're having a rough time with this, because this could be quite scary, realizing that there's still more to do. You've been through so much already with all these eclipses, and even through the middle of August, it can still be very, very choppy here around August 11th, and with all the huge wall of retrogrades. How do you integrate and understand all this stuff? My feeling is that a lot of this isn't going to make sense to you until more towards the end of September, and I'm just saying, I'm just adding that to the notes. I'm not going to be a fortune teller. I'm not going to tell you how to make your decisions in life. All I'm doing is I'm reading a story here as I see it unfold, like watching a little movie or something. And I'm just conveying this to you as best and clearly as I can. And then you can reinterpret however you want later. Okay, this reading is for you. So what happens if you are so freaked out by your own shadow that you do revert to self-defeating behaviors? What does that look like? Okay, you lose all this. It's all of the love that's out there, that's available to you, because it's out there. You're always saturated, swimming in it all the time. If only you would know that or be aware of that. You lose all of that, and it just becomes waste. It's just like, like waste water. It's just like leaving the shower on all day, and then the hot water tank's always empty, or just draining, which is, one of the things that Pisces has to be very aware of, with all that Mars Aquarius stuff over here in your own 12th house being the natural Pisces domain anyway, realizing like, gosh, I can't believe I wasted so much of my deep heart soul energy, all my good intentions. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Well, at least you're going to realize, but you're going to learn the hard way. So what happens if you understand that you could lose all this, you can lose all this, but you realize you have to make decisions to discover what this is and move forward anyway, move through the fear, move through the shadows. Then what happens is you discover how much love you have available to you as a resource. Wow, it's like, wow, I have my own faucet. This is so cool. I have my own hose. I have my own freaking hose. I am an instrument of the healing power of love, and I can actually put this into action. Thank you very much. Wow, this is so, so cool. Why didn't anybody tell me this before? Well, anyway, you're finding out now. Let's have a look. What's going on over here in terms of momentum? Yay! Wow! to me, this is really, really good news. In some ways, this to me is kind of a scary reading, but I also see it as good because to me, it looks like lightning is blowing away everything. To me, this to me looks a lot, feels a lot like the lightning energy that I was feeling much earlier in the reading. And what it does, it just kind of, you know how lightning does sometimes when those amazing photographs that you see on the Weather Channel or stuff like that, you know, it just lights up all these amazing things that you would never see without the lightning. It just blows everything up. And then you think, oh my gosh, there's so much out there I didn't know existed. And it allows you to, like, it's like a huge wake up call. I see this as very much to do with the eclipses, very much to do with the, like the shock and awe of the Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio axes going on right now with the eclipse, and with it being very magnified here on August 11th, the before, the during, and the after effect, okay? And so as you come out of it all, I feel that this is extremely liberating for you, which is primarily one of the biggest outcomes and purposes at the spiritual level. The purpose of the eclipses is to really shake you up, but this is like an extra, extra strong shake up. Like, it's time to release the shackles to the old, open the doorway to the new, and it's going to be quite a ride, quite interesting for you, Pisces, all right? Especially towards health and creating new habits, understanding that doing things like repairs and maintenance in your life really, really can help if you do that as part of a daily regimen instead of waiting for all the stuff to go wrong and then trying to fix it. That's doesn't make much, well, that people do that. All I'm suggesting here is you're going to have a really good chance for a brand new start, very liberating, very exciting in some ways, very unpredicted, in some ways very unpredictable, okay? But it's good, okay? So don't be scared. It's important to know what scares you. And then that liberates you, okay? Just remember, all that love is out there for you. You just got to take mastery. You've got to own it so that you can become an effective instrument. And it's not just so that you can be a martyr and save the world. It's about you. Love thyself, you know, in amazing new ways that you've never done before. All right. Thank you so, so much, Pisces. I'm going to leave it at that. You can reinterpret however you want. Thank you for visiting Tarot Lumination. All the best in August. All the best with the eclipses. Bye-bye.